Hey everybody, I just wanted to be consistent, hop on a video here, and talk about Shopify store speed. Now, you guys know me, I'm a big advocate of the Wolf of Shopify theme, the original Wolf of Shopify theme. Recently, the new one came out. And the cool thing about this theme is that it is faster. It's noticeably faster, at least when you're editing the theme. Now, it could be faster, obviously, or slower, depending on how what kind of content you put. Obviously, if you put 6 gigabyte images all over the website, obviously it's going to be slower. That's just a common SEO fact. But I want to talk about website speed and, how much it really matters. And I think this is a beginner, not myth, but it's like a misnomer. I think people think that, your store has to be super, super lightning fast, and that's not actually the case. Google actually states that, as long as your website loads in under 3 seconds, you're good. You're good to go. So if you just count that, 1, 2, 3. So that 3-second period, if somebody types in your website and hits that enter button, it should load in under 3 seconds, right? If your website takes 7 seconds to load, then guess what? It's too slow. And 9 times out of 10, it's not because the actual theme, and you guys could pick any theme you want. It doesn't have to be this theme or this theme, right? And by the way, I'll leave the links in the description to these themes below. And by the way, also, for the Alpha Wolf, I'm still waiting for my coupon code for my application to be approved for the affiliate link, so I'm really, really excited for that, but just bear with me, guys, when I get that. I'll let you guys know. But with that being said, is when we were talking about speed, sorry, I got a little bit mistracked there, is that as long as your store loads up fast enough, which is 3 seconds or less, you're really good to go. You don't need something that's extremely fast or ridiculously fast. You need something that just fits the criteria. So with that being said, let's just go ahead and do a little bit more analysis when it comes to speed. There's a website called GT Metrics. And GT Metrics is a website that I use where you essentially paste in your website link to see the speed of it. So let's just pull up a random clothing website. So let's just type in clothing here, and let's just analyze their speed. So let's pick up the first one that came up as through an ad. And let's take the link here and just paste it and hit test your site. And basically we're kind of like this, where they'll analyze the page or the website and they'll tell you how fast it is. Now, what you really want to pay attention to is your images, and that's the thing that's going to hold back your store when it comes down to speed. So your images, you want to what's referred to as minify them. Now, depending on if you're using Shopify or not, they have certain apps. So this website got a grade B, 90 performance, which is actually really, really good. And it tells you guys what takes the longest to load, right? It tells you what elements take the longest time, and you could take a deep dive into this, and you could see, if what links or what kind of URLs here take the longest time. So you want to just be aware of all this. And the reason why this matters is because we're trying to, especially with this YouTube channel, is we're trying to make the wrongs right here on this YouTube channel. We're trying to, essentially bring light to the fake and false exposure of things that you hear online. The Shopify store speed kind of thing that you see like next to your theme, it really is irrelevant when it comes down to speed, because Shopify has no control over whether your website gets ranked on Google or not, or whether your website gets conversions or not. Shopify is literally taking your store in comparison with millions of other stores. Now, here's the thing. When Shopify figures out how fast your store is compared to other stores, you need to ask yourself a logical reasoning question. Ask yourself, how many people create Shopify stores on a daily basis? The answer is hundreds of thousands, if not millions, right? Now, ask yourself also, how many of those stores are fully built and successful? Well, the reality is, if a store is fully built, it's probably going to load a little bit longer than a store that's brand new and has nothing in it, right? No products, no images, really nothing, to bear. And so what happens is that Shopify will rank your store amongst all stores, whether they're successful or unsuccessful or anything like that. And that's why kind of the Shopify store speed, when Shopify stores tell you the actual speed within the Shopify panel is kind of irrelevant, right? It really doesn't matter. The only, thing that, speed matters for is if you're advertising and you want to convert a sale, right? And like I said, as long as it's 3 seconds or less, or if you want to do Google SEO and rank with Google. And if you have a decent score here, you have nothing to worry about. Honestly, you have nothing to worry about. In fact, Google over time, and there's a new algorithm update coming out in May, where they're going to prioritize websites that perform better with speed in this kind of way, where their largest contentful paint is a lower amount of milliseconds. And the reason why that matters, guys, is because Google values essentially it values websites that can bring some sort of benefit to consumers. And when we talk about benefit to consumers, what we really mean is that it doesn't slow customers down. It doesn't give them a bad loading experience. It doesn't give them a bad experience in general. And websites that are fast won't do that. And Google will take that into priority. Now, Google always changes their algorithm, like every few months, every few weeks, whenever the new algorithms come out. So it's not like you want to depend on one thing, but the idea here is, guys, don't focus too much on speed like other people do. You want to focus on your traffic and your conversion rate. The first thing you want to figure out in a store in general or in life is, how am I going to bring people to the store? The second thing you want to ask yourself is, how do I get people to actually buy my product when they visit my store? Does that make sense, guys? So I know this is a little bit of counter what you might normally hear on Shopify YouTube channels, where they say, you have to make your store lightning fast and all this stuff. Honestly, guys, that's nonsense. As long as your website loads within 3 seconds or less, and you could do a test yourself. You don't even have to go on GT Metrics. You could just go on Google, type in your website, hit the enter button, and count 1, 2, 3, and see how long it takes for your store to load. And if your store loads before those 3 seconds, you're essentially good to go. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this video gave you guys some light. I know it was a very simple video, but hopefully it brought to light some of the things that are important. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.